that's what I got. Like I texted my dad and I was like, it's my graduation day today. If you can make it, I'd really appreciate it. There's a ticket here for you. I'm busy. That's all I got. And I was like, rah. There was a dark stage in my life where I wanted to kill myself. Called my mum and I told her like I don't want to be in this world no more, and that was my way of communicating that I'm hurting, that I'm going through things that I don't feel like I can trust you to tell you. But I said to myself, I'm not kissing nobody's ass, I'm not running up underneath no one, I'm not begging no one for nothing. However any family wants to leave our relationship, that is where it's staying. I'm an adult now. I'm not gonna chase an empty basket.
Everything gonna make sense soon. Make a bandit and put it over the wall.
What a guan pan, what a guan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. Over the past couple of weeks, I felt like a lot of my videos have been just funny, and you lot are seeing the humorous side of me, you're seeing the helpful side, but I feel like you lot don't know why I'm that way, and you lot don't know who I am as a person. So that's literally what I'm gonna sit here and talk about today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Phillip, and thank you for those that have subscribed and those that are still watching, and make sure you like, comment and subscribe on this video. As if you lot can tell from my videos, you'll know that I'm from a Caribbean descent. My dad is fully Jamaican and my mum's parents are from Barbados and St. Kitts. So you already know from my personality, I'm quite bold and I'm quite charismatic and all them things. But I feel like before being such a bold character and being funny, there was a time in my life where like I was just I wouldn't say I was timid, but I was only bold to the like people that I was comfortable with. And I feel like I'm reverting back to that as I get older, and it's strange. So it's making me like reflect on my childhood quite a lot. So growing up, I was like one of like five. I was one of five, but in the early stages, it was just me and my brother. But then along came two of my dad's children that he had previously before he had us, and they came to live with us as well. And but when it was just me, my brother and my sister, I always felt like my other siblings were more catered to than I was. And I felt like I was always seeking attention. Like I was always trying to find a way for my parents to see that I'm the golden child or I'm the token boy. And I know that's not what we should be aspiring to be, and that's not what life is all about. But that's really what I wanted, because I used to get so much love and praise from like my uncles or my cousins and my grandparents, but I don't feel like I got it from my parents. So it was a bit difficult. In like the mid years of primary school and then my years in secondary school, I was like very problematic. I was always getting in trouble. Like my parents would always have to come in and things like that. And I don't know, like I wouldn't say I was hurting, but like I was literally just trying to find a reason to be noticed, basically. As I got to 7 or 8, that's when I started to find that I loved music. I was a big fan of like Chris Brown at the time, so I would always sing, and I would always like sing and dance. Singing and dancing was something that I really enjoyed doing. So my dad got me into like piano lessons, and then that was kind of my time to like focus on something other than school or games, because I never really had anything else that I was doing. Whereas my brother, he had football, and that was like his therapy, that was his outlet, that was something he really enjoys, and that's what he enjoys even to this day. When I started my piano lessons, I enjoyed it in the beginning, but then I felt like I wasn't connecting with it. I felt like it was forced. I wasn't learning to improve. I was literally learning the same songs, like the same lessons, the same music over and over again. I don't feel like I was getting better, and I don't feel like I was getting better. I felt like over time, I like forced myself to get worse until my dad just stopped it. Then I went on to drama school. So I used to do drama school every Thursday, and again, it was something where it was like I'm being thrown into something that obviously my dad feels like it's good for me, but it almost came across like it was just something to do rather than something that I actually said, oh, I want to do this. Do you get what I mean? It came around that like education was like the only thing that I really had. Education was the only thing that I could like stick to and like and it become compulsory and I kind of have to do it. So while I'm in school, I'm still being problematic and I'm still being disruptive in class. But like deeper than that, I was going through my parents like coming round to having a divorce, and that really affected me. Like that affected me hard growing up because I felt like I want to be seen, and now that my parents are separated, where am I meant to go? Who am I meant to seek advice or support from? For you lot that are watching this, you may think, oh, I can talk to my mom like this, I can tell my mom anything, or I can tell my dad anything. I never had that because when I was younger, when I was growing up, I wasn't always with my parents. My parents used to work quite a lot, so I would be being looked after by an aunt. There wasn't always that family time, if that makes sense. Even with school, like when I would have birthdays, I would be having birthday in class. Like literally, I'd be having birthday in class. I wouldn't have like a family day where we're all going out to, like, that wasn't the kind of attention that I was getting. Basically, it was always that my family was working and work basically came first. And I get it, but sometimes it can really affect people, and I feel like it affected me quite a lot. As I got older, as I got to like about 10, my parents was going through a divorce, and I'm like, raw, like, who do I pick? Who do I trust? Like, one person's getting bad mouth from this family, the other person's getting bad mouth from this family. I'm just in a ball. I'm in a ball and I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And it was a very confusing stage in my life for me. I feel like in that time, I built a lot of anger up towards both of my parents. So I would literally go back and forth from house to house, and so something would happen and I would go to one parent, then something would happen between me and that parent, and then I'll go to the other, and then it would just be a back and forth cycle for years. And in that moment, I was still in school, I was still misbehaving. Like, I feel like I never had no kind of pick me up. I don't feel like that is what I needed. More, I feel like I needed more. And then with my past playing on me, like with suffering from anger issues and just not knowing who to trust and family bickering, family feud, like I needed more than school. I literally felt like I just needed love. I needed a hug, like, and I always got that from both my grandmas, but I never got it. I don't feel like I got it from my parents because they were so stuck on being divorced or being separated. So I'm just like, and I don't think I've ever spoken about this with like my other siblings. I don't know how they feel or how they felt when my parents was getting divorced, but I feel like I had it the hardest because I wasn't really doing anything. I wasn't doing anything to escape. I wasn't doing anything to get my mind off things. I was literally going to school, coming home. I'm coming home to something new. I'm coming home to either my mum being in a bad mood, or I'm coming home to my dad being stressed out or having money issues. And like it even got to a point where like I started to resent my brother because I felt like my parents, even though they were going through a divorce, I felt like they were still putting in like 100% into him, and I'm just here like following everybody along to go and watch him play football. And I'm like, why am I here? Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I not getting attention? Like, so I would literally say to my dad, oh, can I go to this cousin's house, just so that I could get that love. So when I was going to my cousin's or my auntie's house, I was getting catered to. I was getting the attention I felt like I was missing. I wouldn't say I have the best relationship with my parents, but like as I get older, I'm learning who they are as an adult. I'm learning the struggles that they went through as an adult. Growing up, I did feel like I was selfish. I did feel like I wasn't considering the matter that was at hand. All I was just thinking about is, why is nobody checking for me? Why is nobody caring about me? So I just was angry all the time. In high school, I was being bullied and I wasn't telling anyone. I was just going through the motions. I was building up anger upon anger upon anger, and I didn't feel like I could trust my mum to like confide in her, and I didn't feel like I could trust my dad. I felt like they would have just brushed it off, like a lot of things that have happened in my family, and keep it moving, focus on school. That is literally what I felt like was repeated in my head. Focus on school, make sure you finish school, make sure you get good grades. That is literally what was just repeated in my head. That's where me building like tight friendships came. So like in the process of me being bullied, I built friends that I would not trade for the world. I built relationships with people that I could confide in and talk to. You might think, raw, like why am I so close with this person and I'm not close with my family members like that? Sometimes that's how it happens. Like literally, like if I look at my generation, a lot of my family, they're not close. Like you would think growing up with everybody under one house, you would be able to call your brother. And I'm not saying I can't call my siblings, but I'm just saying I don't feel like I'm in a position where I could confide in my siblings. I could be completely transparent with my siblings and be like, rah, this is what I'm going through. I need some advice. Or I don't feel like I can do that because I never had that mindset growing up. I never had that certainty that if I tell you something, you can just give me the advice and it not go anywhere else. I never had that. With me, trust has just been really hard for me because obviously majority of what we learn as children is based around our family and how we watch people treat each other, and then that just plays out in the friendships that you have. I'm not trying to say that I've had the worst upbringing or I was abused. I'm not trying to say that, but a lot of things that happen, like with the family feuds and the toxic relationships, a lot of those things had an effect on my emotions and my anger and the way I communicate. And to this day, I still struggle with anger, my outbursts, and shutting down. And there are times where I literally go into a mood and I can be having the most beautifulest day in the world and one thing could happen and my mood completely changes and I'm just like, I need to go home because if I continue on and my mood starts sinking, like I will literally like destroy everybody's mood. I would hurt everyone's feelings and I don't want to do that to the people that I love or my friends. So the best thing is to go home. So onto like helping people and connecting with people, I feel like I've always been like a helpful and caring person. Like I will literally give whoever it is my last, and the reason for that is because majority of my family come from Jamaica. I do still have cousins and little cousins and aunts and stuff that are still in Jamaica, and I see the struggle. I see the efforts that they have to go through to make money. I see that like my family still have to send stuff and help out, and like that hurts me. Obviously, I'm lucky enough to be in this country, have free education, my parents live in a nice house. Like I'm lucky, but and as much as I'm sitting here like saying that like I struggled with my emotions and stuff like that, I have sides of family that are struggling with finances, not being able to eat like a good proper meal like I'm eating. Fam, that's why anyone that comes to me and they're in need, sometimes I may not be able to help them financially, but if I could give you words of wisdom, if I could give you words of encouragement, if I could give you a plan and say, yeah, do this, do this, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give, but I'm only gonna talk from my experience. I can't talk from my friend's experience because I don't know what it's like. So it's crazy. I remember one time when I remember one time growing up through my parents' divorce. I remember one time I was just like to my dad, oh, I feel like you don't love me. And I sat there, like I sat in his bedroom and I said to him like, I feel like you don't love me. Even saying it now, that hurts me, yeah? Because there was a time where I felt like both my parents didn't really fuck with me and I was just going through it. I never wanted to be at home. I would always go to my grandparents' house on the weekends. I just felt like they was giving me the attention that I needed, and I just felt like they was putting all their efforts into my brother and they just wasn't really fucking with me. One thing I can say is I loved art. I loved being on the computer. That was my outlet. As I got older, I started to notice the cracks in my family and seeing things from an adult perspective and seeing relationships as an adult rather than seeing it as a child and not being able to say, I don't want to go here because you lot's relationship isn't good, or I don't want to go here because this house is toxic. Like, I can say that now. I can say I don't want to go in this environment because that's not good for my spirit, that's not good for my mental health. But I couldn't say that as a child. I just had to do what my parents told me. And all these things have just played a part in my emotions. Like, I literally, when I went to uni, I actually took a lot of time out from my family. Like, when I moved away, I literally, I wouldn't say cut off, but like, I just cut communication. I cut ties with people that I felt like I was obligated to speak to. So when I reached like 21, I was just doing my own thing. I was like, I was at uni, I'll be going to uni, I'll be going to work, and no one would see me because I'd just be going to uni, going to work, going home. And then in me graduating, I felt like, rah, this is an achievement that I can say I finally done. I'm fortunate enough to be able to experience life on my own and be able to learn who I am in the four walls of my own like rented place. Like, it was just crazy. It was crazy that now that I look back at it, like a lot of that time that I had at uni was like, I was reflecting, I was learning me, I was learning what ticks me off. I was learning a lot about myself. And I think through those years, that's when I changed and I started to like fuck with myself heavy, because before that I weren't really fucking with myself. I was doing any and everything to please the people around me or the people next to me. I was trying to put up this image, this front of, oh, Daniel's cool, oh, Daniel's this, Daniel's that, like. And I was just like, once I got to like my second year of uni, I just said to myself, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not waking up and being scared of what I put out there or what this person's gonna think. Like, I actually said to myself, I don't care no more. I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna love me, and I'm gonna show who I am. I'm gonna show who, like, there was a time in my life when I had my tongue pierced, I had my teeth pierced, I had my nose pierced, I had my eyebrows pierced. I have had so many transitions in the space of 5 years. I'm shocked that this is how I am now, because a couple of years ago, I would have never thought that I would have been this way. I would have thought that I would still be dealing with trying to build relationships with people that don't want to fuck with me. Like, so once I graduated, I was like, yes, this is an accomplishment. Like, yes, I can say I did this. Yes, I finally finished every form of education and I don't have to look back. But then when it came to graduation day, it almost felt like I was just back at my parents being like, I would have loved to experience my graduation with both my parents there, both sides of family there. Like, that is one thing I wish I could have done, but I only had my mum, my grandma, my sister, my nephew and niece, and my cousin. And I'm grateful that they came, but that day I broke down on the stage. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday. I just started crying, and I was like, why is my dad's side of family not here? Like, why is all my siblings not here? Like, why is it this way? Why did life have to pan out this way? And as much as to some people this is trivial, but this is, for me, it's deep, because no matter what happens in my life, like, I want my family to look at me and be like, through your troubled childhood, you could say, like, you've actually overcome your adolescent stage, you've overcome your anger. I want my family to be able to look at me and be proud. And I don't care, even if I don't speak to my dad, even if I don't speak to my cousins or whatever, I want them to be able to say, yeah, oh my God, I remember Daniel when he used to be like this, when he used to be like that, and he's changed, he's grown up, he's a man now. I want people to look at me and be like, yeah, like, I respect your growth. But yeah, man, that day hurt me. Like, I was just like, rah, like, how are you too busy to come to my graduation? That's what I got. Like I texted my dad and I was like, it's my graduation day today. If you can make it, I'd really appreciate it. There's a ticket here for you. I'm busy. That's all I got. And I was like, rah. But I said to myself, I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'm not running up underneath no one. I'm not begging no one for nothing. However, any family wants to leave our relationship, that is where it's staying. I'm an adult now. I'm not gonna chase an empty basket. Like, I'm not gonna do that. It's just not. That's not what I'm here for. I even look at like my relationship with my siblings and I think to myself, like, we're all so different, we're all so separated, we've all gone through things individually, but we've never ever once sat down and been like, what was this period of your time like for you? And I just wish I could do it. I wish I could do it, but something in me is just saying it might be too late to do that. In my mid-teens, I literally made myself homeless. Like, and you lot might think like, why? How can you make yourself homeless? Like, your family are like decent living, and you could have a roof over your head and whatever. But I was so angry with everyone. When I was being bullied, I was so angry with everyone. I would literally lash out on anyone that was in my view, and yeah. It got to a point where I was staying at friends' houses, sleeping on floors, sleeping on couches, all because I couldn't communicate with my parents. I couldn't trust my parents like I wanted to. I didn't build that trust and communication with my parents. And that is where it starts. That is where the domino effect started when it came to my relationships, my friendships. I have outbursts, I lash out, I say things that will make people think, whoa, you need to relax. But sometimes when I'm in a certain predicament, I revert back to a very toxic stage in my life. I revert back to feeling like I had no one in high school. I swear, it's made me who I am today, and I wouldn't change anything that's happened, but I'm still learning how to understand my parents as an adult. I'm still learning how to understand my brothers, my sisters as an adult. But there's certain things that I'm not going to deal with, and there's certain things that I'm not going to tolerate. And if I feel like certain things are going too far, or I'm going to revert back into a toxic stage in my life, I'm not going to deal with it. Literally, that's a bit about me, a bit about my life, a bit about my family. And I love my family. Like, they're my rock. They are me. They are literally, my family is where I get my personality from. My family is where I get my vibe from. My family is where I get my loving nature from. So I will never take that away from them. But there were challenges that I went through that obviously I'll never forget, and that's what's made me who I am today. And I just want everyone to understand that the patch in your life that you're going through, it will not last forever. But if you're like 16 up until like 19, 20, those are the ages where you're meant to find who you are, find what you enjoy, find what you love. Don't do things because your parents told you to. And even if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Don't put it in your head that you have to do it because your parents said this is this is what you're meant to be. Like, you will find out what you're meant to be by finding yourself. Going to school and college, you're going to meet people from different walks of life. You're going to meet people that are difficult to get to know. You're going to meet people that are not nice people, but everybody has something going on at home or something that happened in their past why they act a certain way. So it's all about understanding, and it's all about respecting one another and learning. I feel like I found myself. I found what I loved. I found what I enjoyed when I came on social media. And obviously, so for me, Instagram was my outlet. Like, I literally used to do everything on my Instagram. But one thing that I enjoyed most was like shopping, buying new clothes and dressing up and showing people like different outfits and stuff like that. And although showing people fashion is not really people knowing who you are, it was what I enjoyed. And then again, fashion played into art. It played into my creative side, and I've always been creative. I've always loved bright colors. I've always loved interacting with other creatives and getting to know people in other fields of work and life. So yeah, social media has literally been my outlet, and I'm just here like, so that I'm here for you lot to see that, like, as funny as I am, as loving as I am, there was a dark stage in my life where I wanted to kill myself. There was a dark stage in my life where I called my mum and I told her, like, I don't want to be in this world no more. And that was my way of communicating that I'm hurting, that I'm going through things that I don't feel like I can trust you to tell you. I'm going through being bullied. I'm going through not really having any friends. I'm going through not really having a good relationship with my dad. I'm going through all these things, and I called my mum and I said, I don't want to be on this earth no more. I don't want to be in this world. Like, I want to kill myself. And for 24 hours, my phone was off. I walked until I couldn't walk no more. I didn't go to college that day. My mom was calling me. She went to my college, like, she was looking for me. These times I'm in some fucking park by myself, just moping and crying, until I turned on my phone and my mom called me. She's like, listen, although she did say to me, like, whatever you're going through, just talk to me, tell me, like, communicate with me, I still feel like I couldn't. But over time, like, eventually, like, bit by bit, I would tell her little bits and little parts, and then that's how she was able to understand who I am as a person, and why I get angry when I feel disrespected, why I get angry when my efforts are going unnoticed, why I get angry when a friendship is failing after 2 seconds. I wish earlier on I noticed that I could reflect on things, but look at it in a good way and see that it was a learning curve rather than reflecting on it and being angry. I wish I would have took it as a learning method. But yeah, life is all about learning, and if you don't go through it, someone will tell you, and you'll be able to get an inside scoop of what it's like. So I'm here to kind of tell you guys about who I am. But that's all that I wanted to sit down and say today. I know I do feel like there is still more to learn about me, but it's all in time. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe on this video. And if you watch this video to the end, thank you very much, and thank you for learning a bit more about myself. I will try and do more videos like this, but I will be going back to my little funny videos and whatever. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Peace.
Everything up make sense soon. Make a band-aid and put it over the wound. Everything up make sense soon. Make a band-aid and put it over the wound.